is up, Gorilla Nation, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. But if you would be so kind, show some love to that like button. Also hit that sub button if you happen to be new to the channel. And don't forget to reach up there, trigger that bell, and turn on post notifications. So that way you never miss a live stream or a video that is uploaded. Well, going back to my previous build video, there's a lot of folks out there that are confused or don't really understand what certain 1, 2, and 3 piece bonuses do on certain gear when it comes to percentage of incoming repairs versus repairing skills or skill repair, and then also when it comes to percentage status effects. But you can see the full build guide to the build that I'm about to show. It's not more or less showcasing that build, it's just helping you understand what each individual thing does. So I hope it does help you out, and I hope it answers those questions that those of you that have asked about this in the comment section below. So let's hop right into it. Okay, my dude just kind of took a poop on the floor, but anyways, this is, you can see this build on the channel, the Ultimate God build. I'm not going to go through it. But as you can see, as a attribute, you can get repair skills. And then on the R and K, one piece gives you 15% incoming repairs. And then the third piece gives you 15% repair skills. Also, 2 pieces of 511 gives you incoming repairs. And then the Alp Summit, 1 piece gives you 15% repair skills. So let's start with here first, and then we'll move on to more or less the status effects. But the 1 piece or anything that says incoming repairs, that means basically from all sources that repairs your armor. So whether your teammates use a Hive, a chem launcher, whatever it is, the pokey heal from the survivalist, anything that repairs armor, no matter if they do not have any skill tier whatsoever to make their skills stronger, that plus 15% is still going to increase your base or their base incoming repairs. So if they send their pokey heal to you, or they have a Hive out, even though it is super weak, that plus 15% incoming repairs is going to give that plus 15% to whatever heal that is actually going to be, or I should say repair. Now the repair skills, that more or less correlates and is directly affected as far as how much of that you have on and what skills that you are using that repairs your armor. Just as what your teammates are using, as I aforementioned, the chem launcher, the Hive, the fixer drone, the pokey heal, anything that repairs armor, you get plus 15% repair skills for like the third piece. And also, like you see in the mod slot, 10.5% incoming repairs, and I do believe, yes, I have a 15.1% there on my backpack as well, and all that stacks. So even though when it comes to, let's say, my skills, my repair, right? So even my base, if you go down to the tiers, I get plus 4 ammo, 50% radius, and 100% heal. Now, all those repair skills combined together amplifies what I already have as a heal. So that in turn boosts it. So technically, if you want to really look at it, I really have pretty much on tier 6 without the extra utility Lego on my build, just because I have stacked repair skills or incoming repairs on everything. As you can see, my armor repair is 900,508. The full build details are already on the channel. It's the Ultimate God build. Definitely go check that out. Yeah, if you know how to stick and move, you're basically never going to die. And then, of course, the PvP armor repair is 450,254. So, in turn, stack incoming repairs or repair skills on anything as far as your chem launcher, Hive, or whatnot, if you want to have a little bit stronger heal but don't want to sacrifice, let's say, a really high roll of armor, or if you're a DPS build, or any kind of weapon damage on all the other pieces, because you have to choose whether it be 1+1 skill tier, armor, or weapon damage. So if you don't want to put the utility there and don't want to sacrifice armor or weapon damage, then the other way around it is to actually stack incoming repairs or repair skills. And several different pieces actually give you 10 to 15% here and there, as well as mods, and basically you can just stack it, and that is further going to increase the overall potency of your repair skills or your chem launcher pool or hive or whatever it is. So mine is 55.6%. I can be right there at 60%. But as you can see, that mod that I have only has 10.5. So once I get another 15, then I'll put that on there, and then I will be at 60%. So even though, let's say I have no going to benefit from being skill tier 5, but my heals are going to be 55.6% less. So by stacking that, I'm getting plus 55.6%. So essentially, since I'm getting 100% heals on my chem launcher, I'm really actually getting 155.5% heal for tier 5. So keep that in mind. So keeping in the same mindset. A good example is the Wybenware brand set. It's changed. Now it's 10% skill damage, 10% status effects, and also just as I had incoming repairs or repair skills on all my attribute rolls on every single piece, you can do the same exact thing when it comes to status effects or like explosive resistance. But let's just stick with the status effects and the skill damage. So no matter what skill you're doing, if it's a skill that inflicts damage, then just one piece of Wybenware is going to increase that damage of that skill by 10%. Now that is not reflective on how many skill tiers you have, because whether you're 1 or 5, you still get that base of whatever tier you're on, but whatever you get is going to also get another 10% buff to its skill damage just from stacking skill damage. So the more skill damage percentages you stack, the stronger that skill is actually going to be, and the more damage it's going to cause. And you don't even have to have any skill tiers whatsoever in order to increase your damage for those skills. Now the second piece of Wybenware gives you plus 10% status effects. Good example is a Seeker Mind. You get explosive damage first, and then it inflicts bleed. Just as a grenade, you take explosive damage and then it puts you on bleed. So if you have a 2-piece of Wybenware on, it's going to increase the damage of that Seeker Mind, and also the bleed is going to be enhanced because you'll have this 10% increase to status effects. And also you can find, as you see in the attributes of this random piece that I have, has 8.6% status effects on it as well. So for this one piece, it's going to increase all my status effects that I inflict by 18.6%. And just as I had incoming repairs and repair skills on an attribute rolls on every single piece of my gear on the build that I showed you, you can do the same for skill damage and status effects. So if you don't want to sacrifice armor, if you don't want to sacrifice weapon damage to increase in effectiveness of a skill, and don't want to add +1 skill tier because that is a core attribute and you have to choose, then you can just stack skill damage percentage or status effects percentage. And I hope I haven't confused you with that. So if you want super duper strong 1-tap Seekers and 1-tap sticky bombs, super duper hive bleeds, then you want to stack skill damage and the status effects, because most skill, they do damage, but also they inflict a status effect afterwards. Case in point, the Stinger Hive, just as an example, applies bleed status effect on affected target. It causes damage, but also that damage that you're taking from the hive also inflicts bleed. So if you just have increased skill damage on there as far as percentage wise, and don't have percentage status effects on there, then the damage in which that skill is inflict is going to be plus whatever percentage you have. but it's not going to increase the potency of the status effect, in this case the bleed that proceeds afterwards. Just as when you get hit with a seeker mine, you take explosive damage and then it causes bleed. If you have skill damage, that explosive damage is going to be stronger, but the bleed after effect is going to remain the same. But if you stack both, then both are going to be increased. So I hope that cleared it up. I know a lot of people were asking in my comment section, so I hope that I didn't confuse you any further. I hope I explained it the best way that I could. And also, not a lot of people and not everyone follow Thylander on Twitter. He verified this in a tweet because a lot of people were asking, and I haven't seen really anybody mention it. I'm always asked, whether it be on Twitter or in the YouTube sphere, as far as how that exactly works. So hopefully I explained that to you. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you fudging later.